What's good, everybody? This is your boy Jagging Off, the Go to Jags YouTube. 904 to Bold City, Duval. We in a fucking building yet again. Alright, so, as y'all know, free agency is just around the corner. It's a couple weeks away. And though it's not too many big ones, the Jaguars do got some decisions to make on players with expiring contracts. Now, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to go through the list of pending free agents, and I'll give you my opinions on each guy, and whether I feel like they should stay, they should go, or like a lot of this list, I don't give a fuck what happens to them. But yeah, so basically, a lot of these guys some of these guys are practice squad players or something, but there are a few decisions that need to be made of guys that do contribute to the team pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna go through that. But before I do that, let me go through a couple players who are still under contract that could go. Obviously, the first one is Gardner Minshew. Ultimately, I think Gardner Minshew's on the roster next year. He's got 2 years left on his rookie deal. I would keep him around just in case something goes wrong with Trevor Lawrence. Unless somebody's going to offer top dollar for him, like if somebody gives a third-round pick, of course, the Jags are going to be stupid not to fucking take it. But I would hold on to him. But like, if you're not going to get any significant trade offer for him, I would just hold on to him until next year. And just and then after that, just, and we know Trevor Lawrence is legit, which he should be. After that, just trade him. You know what I mean? So, that's pretty much what I see with Gardner Minshew. Next one is Tyler Eifert, who is on a club option, similar to what Chris Conley had last year. With him, I think ultimately he's back. He quietly had a pretty decent year, and just for the fact that, we pretty much, James O'Shaughnessy's a free agent, and then we have fucking Josh Oliver, who's made of glass. I would like to keep Eifert around just because, I want to upgrade that position, but I still think he's a valuable veteran guy to have on the roster. So I think ultimately he's back next year. So I would definitely keep Tyler Eifert. Other one is Andrew Norwell. Now, if you ask me this, if this were to come up last year, I would be on my hands and knees praying to God that we got rid of this fuck. But even though he hasn't lived up to his contract, he still played decent last year. Like, most of the offensive line in general played decent last year. So, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be upset if they get rid of him. I'm not going to be upset if he's back another year. But I just hope I just hope he continues to at least trend in the right direction and actually looks like he belongs on a fucking football field instead of basically being a human turnstile. And then another one, of course, Taven Bryan, who is a fucking disgrace. He was a first-round pick bust who's getting outplayed by undrafted rookies and third-round picks. I mean, what more is there to say? I hope he's fucking gone next year. And then, of course, fucking Fabio on crack, Andrew Wingard. I think he's got 1 year left on his deal. And I pray to God he fucking goes too, because he is absolutely useless unless we're playing Phillip Rivers. And Phillip Rivers retired, so there really isn't much of a use for him anymore. So, yeah. Alright, now, without any more further ado, enough bullshit, let's get straight into it. Let's go through the list of pending free agents. I got the list in front of me. We're going to go through every one of these fucking guys. So first up, we got DJ Hayden. He, of course, was a slot cornerback, and he's either injured or last year he was decent, but like this year he couldn't stay on the fucking field. But see, I think with him, even though he's not outright pathetic, I feel like in like the mid rounds of the draft we could find somebody to replace him. So I I don't think there's much of a need for DJ Hayden to be here, so I think he goes. Next up, Avery Jones. He is actually the longest tenured Jaguar since that's really left. See, I think we're going to be transitioning to a 3-4 defense, and, I love Devon Hamilton. I think he's DT1. And if we're going to upgrade that position, if we're going to bring anybody else in, or if we're going to have 4-3 packages still, I just would want somebody better than Avery Jones. K'Wan Short just got cut from the Panthers. It's other options out there. I'm not going to be upset if Avery Jones is brought back, but I think we definitely need. But, I'm not going to be upset if they move on from him either, so it's just kind of up in the air with him. Okay, next up, we got Keelan Cole. This is probably one of the bigger decisions to make. What I see happening with Keelan Cole, I think he's at least going to hit the open market. I know this guy wants to be in Jacksonville, and I want him back, but it's just a matter of what they want to do. Now, obviously, there's a couple other guys that I'm going to get to that are going from the free agent, from the wide receiver department, but I feel like with him, I think it just depends on what they want to do. You could line, to me personally, you could line up DJ Chark, Colin Johnson, and Laviska Shenault, and I think we're decent at wide receiver. But I do think they're going to add one more guy. Now, whether they try to upgrade or keep Keelan Cole remains to be seen. It's just a matter of, do they want to target somebody like Allen Robinson or Kenny Golladay? I think he's at least going to hit. I think he's at least going to hit the. He's at least going to hit the free agent market. But whether we bring him back or not, I guess it just depends if they want to upgrade the position. Chris Conley is the next, but either way, I'd be happy if Keelan Cole came back, but I don't know. That one's kind of up in the air. Chris Conley, he had a good season in 2019. This year he was kind of shit. But with us signing Darrell Bevel, Marvin Jones kind of put out a tweet earlier. I got a feeling that one's going to happen just to get a veteran receiver to kind of fill the role that Chris Conley is going to leave behind. So, yeah, I don't think Chris Conley's coming back. I don't think there's much of a place for him here. I just think even receivers even under contract, there's 3 or 4 better than him. So really not much. So for really not much of a place for Keelan Cole, or not Keelan Cole, Chris Conley. Sorry. Kamalia Correa. This, of course, was the linebacker we got in the trade from Trashville. Now, this trade wasn't too significant. We swapped 6th and 7th round picks. They got a 6th, we got a 7th, and Correa. So, even though, you gave up something for him, if he leaves, who gives a fuck? But, I don't know. I thought he was decent. I wouldn't be upset if this guy gets brought back. So, I guess it just depends on what he wants. I wouldn't give him no $5 million like he got from Trashville, but, I don't know. We'll see. Next up, we got Cam Robinson. This one's interesting because this could kind of go a few ways. See, I know some people with a 25th overall pick want to draft an offensive lineman. I'm sorry, but I don't. I don't want to draft a left tackle. I want to, I think you all know, I want to move up as soon as possible to get Kyle Pitts, but see, the thing is with Cam, he was okay last year, but just okay. I think keeping the offensive line together would be a good thing, but it's just a matter of what we're gonna have to pay for him. If somebody offers Cam Robinson $10 million, don't even come close to matching that. But if he's around for half of that, we get him 2 years, $10 million, then $10 million total, then I'm all for it. Because either way, like if we don't draft somebody, the other two viable options are Trent Williams or like signing Trent Williams or trading for Orlando Brown Jr. Now, I'm okay with either one of them, but the problem is Trent Williams, his age and his injuries, past injuries are kind of a concern. And with Orlando Brown, what do you give up for him, and how much is it going to cost to keep him around? So there's obviously growing concern. There's obviously concerns if we were to target one of those guys, but if we can land Cam Robinson for cheap, like I'm good with that. Especially since we got Will Richardson here, who really hasn't had too much of a chance. We got him here in case he fucks up, and then, we can fix left tackle next year. I think it's a lot more other shit I would rather get straight when, if we got the option of keeping a left tackle for not a whole lot of money. So, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Tyler Shatley, I'd like him to get brought back. I'd be fine with it. He's a good swing lineman, so to speak. So, I'd be okay with it for the right price. Chris Thompson, who gives a fuck? Like, I guess he was a decent spellback for James Robinson. But see, we got Dare Ogunbowale on this list too. If you're giving me the choice between those two, I think I'd pick Ogunbowale because, even those 2 games that James Robinson missed, he was productive. Like, he was pretty good, and he's younger. So, and he probably would be cheaper too. So, like, I'd keep Dare Ogunbowale over Chris Thompson, be honest with you. And plus, Chris Thompson was kind of a Jay Gruden guy, and obviously Jay Gruden's not here. So, I'd say he's probably going to end up going. All right, next up, we got Mike Lennon. Please get him the fuck out. I never want to see this piece of shit ever again. I'm sick of looking at his long giraffe neck, stupid fucking face. I'm sick of this piece of shit. He should have never been here to begin with. So, yeah, he can fucking go. James O'Shaughnessy. See, I like O'Shaughnessy, but it's like, for the past 2 years, we've been waiting for this guy to break out, and it hasn't really happened. So, like, again, how much money is he going to command? So, like I said, like, why I want Kyle Pitts so bad, like, I want to give Trevor Lawrence that real good tight end to throw to. And I think there's more of a chance of that happening if James O'Shaughnessy's not on the roster. Even though I do like him, it's just, I don't know if I'd bring him back. I don't know. But not going to be too upset if he's brought back. But anyway, Aaron Lynch, yeah, he can fucking go because he pulled that Andrew Luck quit bullshit. So, like, I already don't give a fuck about him. So, he can go. Dewan Smoot, this one's interesting. See, my thing with Smoot is I like him. I want him here. But I don't want to give him a shit ton of money. Like, I thought that, I thought last year that this guy had, like, a world of potential when he was getting limited playing time and still got 6 sacks. The concern is he got more tackles, but he had the same amount of sacks, and he started off the year slow. Though, I'm all for bringing him back. It's just, I don't want to put a shit ton of money in a guy that, gets 5 to 6 sacks a year. And, like I said, and, I think, like I said, I think he's pretty good. Like, if he's coming back at a reasonable rate, I'm all for bringing him back. But I wouldn't dump a shitload of money into him. I know that. He can walk for if he wants, like, over, like, $8 million a year. But I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'd like to see him back. Adam Gostis, whatever. If he's back, he's back. I really don't give a shit. Sidney Jones, this to me is the most no-brainer to re-sign. I think Sidney Jones needs to be here. I think we got a good young tandem at cornerback on the outside with him and C.J. Henderson. Now, I'll admit I was skeptical of this move when it first happened. But, you know, he came up, he proved himself, and he was a beast. Like, you look at how trash the Jaguars secondary was when him and CJ Henderson weren't in the lineup, but look at a game like the Green Bay game. They both made plays on a very good offense. I mean, for the most part, they held Devontae Adams in check. And, you know, they both were making plays. They were forced fumbles, getting interceptions. They did all kind of shit that game. We were in that game till the bitter end in Lambeau Field with Jake Luton as our fucking quarterback. And it was mainly because of the play of those two. Like, they didn't let Aaron Rodgers absolutely destroy us. So, and of course, you know, Sidney, and like I said, I was skeptical of it because I'm friends with a lot of Eagles fans, and they would basically tell you how much of a piece of shit Sidney Jones was. And, you know, for the most part, he was garbage in Philadelphia, but, like, also take it into account that Philly, for some reason, has a tendency to ruin cornerbacks. So, you know, you had to take that into account, too. Plus, I don't think he would cost a lot to bring back. Like, I think Sidney Jones is a damn good ball player. I think him and Henderson for, you know, the next 3-4 years can be a really good cornerback tandem. So, I think, you know, and I know people talking about drafting a cornerback. It's like, bro, if we got, like, our biggest concern on the secondary is safeties. If we got Sidney Jones back and, you know, we have him and Henderson, we fix the safety and get a slot cornerback, you know, we're decent. So, yeah, I think Sidney Jones, to me, is the biggest no-brainer to re-sign. Just my opinion. Anyways, after him, we got Eric Saubert, who gives a fuck. Greg Maben, who gives a fuck. Dede Westbrook, man. Dede. The thing is, I like Dede Westbrook, and it sucks what happened to him with his injury. And it kind of sucks that, you know, he kind of fell down the depth chart after last year for reasons kind of unknown. But, you know, the guy does have some drop issues. And, you know, like I've said before, Chark, Colin Johnson, Laviska Shenault, they're all better than him. And, you know, as far as kick returning and punt returning, you know, you can find guys in the later rounds to do that shit. Later rounds of the draft to do that shit. So, sucks, but, you know, I think Dede just needs to go somewhere else and get a fresh start. It is what it is. Wish him the best, but, you know, yeah. Casey McDermott, who gives a fuck. Daniel Ross, who gives a fuck. Josh Jones, please get this piece of shit out of here. I'm so sick of this guy. He was fucking atrocious. I don't know what possessed Todd Wash, Doug Moran, and Dave Caldwell to think it was a good idea to start him and trade Ronnie Harrison. That, to me, was arguably the stupidest decision we made in the offseason. So, yeah, I fucking hate him. I don't want to see him no more. I want to get another safety. And I'll talk about free agents in another video. But, yeah, Josh Jones needs to fucking go. Derek Mbuale, I already talked about him. I'd be all for bringing him back. Daniel Akalue. I've seen him play a little bit. I mean, if it don't cost a lot, I guess, sure. Derwin Gray, who gives a fuck. Trey Herndon, yeah. Trey Herndon disappointed me a lot. Like, I went to bat for this guy in the offseason. I thought he was somebody that, you know, the way he played in 2019, I thought this guy had a lot of potential with how lengthy he was and the fact that, you know, he made some good plays. But this year was just bad with him. He sucked on the outside. He sucked in the slot. And just, yeah, time to go, buddy. Dakota Allen, who gives a fuck. Dustin Colquitt, who gives a fuck. He's a backup hunter. He's not coming back anyway because we got Logan Cook. All right, guys, so that's it. Let me know what you guys think, or who am I missing, or who you agree or disagree with on this thing in the comments section below. Sorry this was a long video. I appreciate y'all hanging on. But anyways, I'll have a video coming later talking about the potential free agent targets. But that's it. That's all. Go Jags. Duval till we die.